You're looking here at new scenes from the streets of the city that was ground zero for the global coronavirus pandemic. This is Wuhan in China, where COVID-19 first appeared officially just over 1 year ago. Now, we watched this city go into a total lockdown early this year when most of the world was still COVID-free. Today marks 10 months exactly since that first lockdown was imposed. Strict measures that at the time were considered harsh and draconian by some observers before many other countries began to follow suit. Our Asia correspondent Sasha Petrusik shot those scenes for us. He's just returned from Wuhan. He's back in Beijing now and live with us this morning. Good to see you on this, Sasha. Thank you. What are things like in Wuhan 10 months after the lockdown?
Well, you know, Heather, if you walk into Wuhan now, you could almost believe that there never was a pandemic. The place is wide open. The shopping streets are full. The restaurants are jammed. The bars are jammed. And the fishermen and women are back out on the Yangtze River fishing. Life has returned to normal. It almost looks as though living has become easy again and COVID has been conquered. After all, they haven't actually had an official locally transmitted case in months now, and they're sticking to that.
So I talked about how that was, the lockdown 10 months ago. It was the first in the world, not just the first, it was among the toughest. As you've spoken to people there in Wuhan, Sasha, how do they look back at that time?
Well, people are very reluctant to talk openly and honestly about that period because they're likely to get a visit from the police afterwards. And they do look at it as a nightmare. People will talk about how some of them were locked into their homes. Some doors were welded shut from the outside. There were shortages of food and medicine and medical care as well. In other cases, people who were suspected of having COVID were, dragged away by police officers in hazmat suits and into vans and taken who knows where. So it was very tough. People do not like it. They remember it as a very grim time in Wuhan, just the way that it was portrayed internationally as well. However, when they look back and then they compare it to what's going on right now, most people in Wuhan will tell you it was actually probably worth it, because while the rest of the world is still struggling with this virus, Wuhan believes it is virus-free and life is going on as usual, as it is in most of China, by the way. China itself has put up a bit of a wall around it. People are almost not allowed in. It's very difficult to get in right now, especially if you're not Chinese. And once you're inside, though, people wear masks, but not many. There is no social distancing, and life has gone back to almost normal.
What is possible? Sasha, thank you so much. Our Asia correspondent, Sasha Petrusik from Beijing.